right. The Mad Hatter is here. The crazy scientist. In my laboratory, I've worked on a few things for you. Wanted to bring something to you that I did as a test. Mini test down here in the laboratory is what we try and do. Testing is very important. So, what I did was I got an American Geddy Lee bass. The American Geddy Lee. I'll put a picture up there for you guys. Oh, by the way, if you want to get a Galvanized Yankees t-shirt, I've got them on my website. Galvanized Yankees. They were, anybody that's familiar with the American Civil War, the Galvanized Yankees were Confederate prisoners of war who, near the end of the war, swore allegiance back to the Union and fought to the North. So they switched sides back to the American government side to put down the rebellion. So they were called Galvanized Yankees. It was a derogatory term, meaning that these were Southern boys that got the blue uniform on of the Yankees, but they were never really Yankees. They just put the blue suit on. Underneath it, they were Rebs. So the Southerners coined the phrase Galvanized Yankees because it was a derogatory term of traitors. So anyway, the rock band Galvanized Yankees is a kind of a classic rock band of mine. So if you'd like to get a t-shirt to help support the band, that would be really great. Go to my website of galvanizedyankees.com and you can get the t-shirt there. So back to the Mad Hatter's projects. In the laboratory, we've come up with something quite interesting. What is that, you say? Like I said, I bought a Geddy Lee American jazz bass. But something I did to it. When I bought it and plugged it in and tried it out, I thought, this bass is flat. This bass is just really kind of dead and flat. It's not really exciting. It's basically an American standard jazz bass with a few different appointments, which I like. I really like. I mean, when I look at that bass, I really like the appointments on it. So one is the Headstock Design of the 70s. I always like that big logo. I love maple necks with the pearl dot not pearl dot, the pearloid block inlays on it, on a maple neck. I think that just looks really, really nice. And you don't see that on very many Fenders. So I really like that. Jazz bass. Who doesn't like a jazz bass? I'll get all these comments about people that don't like jazz basses. Okay, I get it. I like jazz basses. So there was a lot of things there that I thought, cool. It's got the neck, it's got the headstock, it's got the old style tuners, the reverse tuners, which always look really cool to me. I don't think that was classic 72. That was just probably something Geddy Lee wanted to put on it, which I thought was a great addition. I like those tuners. They're not any taller. They look taller on the headstock, but it's just that the little clover leaf thing, the turner, it's smaller than the modern day Fender tuners on a bass. So there's a lot of things I like it. Okay, get to the point. What I did is I took it apart. I took the neck off. I took the body, and I had another bass. I'll show you a picture of it too, which is a great bass, which is the Marcus Miller P7 PJ bass, precision with a jazz pickup in the back. They're really great basses for the price. I highly recommend them. Mine had the pearloid block inlays, which I know Marcus Miller really likes because his original bass was that way. And then when he designed that bass with Sire, he came up with this bass, and he uses a lot of the block inlays, the pearloid block inlays, which looks great. I think it looks great, especially on the maple neck. It's a great sounding bass, but what I did was I took the neck of the Geddy Lee bass and I put it on the body of the Marcus Miller bass, and I took the body of the Geddy Lee bass and put the Marcus Miller neck on it. So after playing that Marcus Miller bass, not the Marcus Miller bass, after playing the Geddy Lee bass and going, wow, this thing is flat, bugs me. just a flat kind of Fender bass sound, but flat. So I said, well, let's see what happens if I change the neck. Probably nothing. It'll probably still sound flat. So what I did, let's take the first one. I took the Marcus Miller bass neck and I put it on the Geddy Lee body, which is what this is. So this is the body of the Geddy Lee bass, the American Geddy Lee bass. And what I need to do is get the plug. Hang on. Stand by. Everything isn't perfect in the Mad Hatter's lair, but now it is. So anyway, and I put the, let me see if I can get that. This is the Marcus Miller P7 maple neck with the pearl dot. I love these pearl block inlays. Really makes the bass look really classy. I mean, you don't really need to see the dot. I mean, I look at the dot markers up here, not the fret dot markers or the blocks to guide myself. But they look really good from your vantage point. But all of a sudden, just by changing the neck, the bass came alive. I don't know what happened. Maybe you guys can explain it. It was an accident in the laboratory, and it came out sounding tremendous. I've got the action really low on this thing. Let me add a little bass. Little bass. But all of a sudden, this bass, these passive pickups, which sounded dead with that Geddy Lee bass neck, which is really similar to this. This one's a little bit thinner. Definitely when I took it off and I felt them, this one's lighter because it's thinner. But all of a sudden, this bass sounded great. I think I'm going to just keep it this way. In a laboratory, we stumbled upon something amazing. The most amazing thing that I stumbled on when I did this was I thought, oh no, they're not going to fit. It's a Marcus Miller bass from Indonesia, and it's a jazz bass made in America. Two totally different brands. I mean, yeah, it's kind of a copy, but I took the neck off of the Marcus Miller bass and put it on this Geddy Lee American bass, and I thought the holes aren't going to line up. It's not even going to fit in the pocket, or if it does, it's going to be gappy and it's not going to line up. I put it in there. You know what? It exactly matched up. Exactly matched up. You can't even see. Let me see if I can show you. Look how well that fits. That fits really, really good. So essentially, which makes sense, everybody's copying everybody, especially Fenders. The Marcus Miller bass, the pocket for the body and the pocket, the size of the neck and the holes, the four holes, count them four. That's 8, but 4 per side. They totally matched up, which I thought great. They're interchangeable. So this bass sounds great. All of a sudden, it went from a really dead sounding bass, which I would have taken back. I would have just said, I got enough basses that rock. This passive bass is, it's all passive. But you know what I noticed about the Geddy Lee bass is it's very responsive. This is both pickups all the way up. If I take off a little bit on the front pickup, which I usually do, Just a little bit. I don't know. That's almost like a sweeping mid. That's very responsive. A lot of times you back off the front pickup and it's like, well, I noticed a little bit of difference. Not much of a difference. Let me take it all the way off. Let me add it. Right at the last bit, it goes whoop, with a big output. So when you're backing it off just a little bit, you get a little bit more bite into your bass. Sounds great. Now this bass sounds fantastic with this neck. I wish I would have recorded the bass, the Geddy Lee bass, which I'll probably do it. Oh, I hate to put the necks back, but I might do it just to show what a Geddy Lee bass realistically. I mean, not through any sort of fancy schmancy demo thing from all these sites that demo the bass to sell it to you, but just, I mean, I don't have the high tech stuff here in the laboratory. We can barely pay the rent. So, but anyway, so I'm not going to give you a lot of fancy stuff, fancy licks or a fancy sound or super duper compressed or anything. This is just straight up what this bass sounds like. Now, that's the Geddy Lee body with the Marcus Miller neck. I get confused because, I mean, like, I don't know, too many experiments in the lab. So anyway, let me change it over to the other part of the equation, which was, come on you, right, come on, don't do this to me, you're making all kinds of noise, right, okay, all right, so this is the Marcus Miller, which is a nice piece of ash, one piece of ash, Marcus Miller active, P-bass pickup, jazz pickup, really heavy, nice bridge back there. This is the Marcus Miller body with the American Geddy Lee neck with the pearloid block inlays, the old style tuners, which are totally cool. They're a little bit smaller than the modern tuners, not any higher. It makes it look like they're higher, but they're not. They're just smaller, which they totally look cool. Pre-CBS. With the old logo, the 70s logo, 69 to 75, because I had a 76, which was slightly different. The jazz bass was a little bit smaller. I got mine in 76. That was the first year they switched the logo, but this is a 69 to 75 logo, which I love. I love that logo, that big fat. You know, you don't even need your glasses on to read what you're playing, you know. I mean, I could even read that without my glasses. I'm playing the jazz bass good. Now, if I could just find my glasses, I'd be all set. My teeth. My teeth and my glasses, my most important things. Anyway, no, that's not true about my teeth. They're not the most important thing. But anyway, this bass sounds great. Now, this bass sounded great with the other neck. I think with this neck, it doesn't sound as good as it did with the other neck. I don't know. You guys tell me. I'm freaking out here. Do necks make that much difference? If you just change a neck on an instrument, does it make that much difference? Because I never thought it did. I don't buy into the total tone wood. Ooh, you know, South African, Western, European mahogany is better than Northeastern, Western, you know, Trinidad's, whatever. I never bought into that, but I don't know. You guys tell me. I'm learning stuff all the time here in the laboratory. I think this is all flat. I've only got a few seconds. I don't have enough time for a timeout. Anyway, you tell me what you guys think. I think this thing sounds great, both of them, and it was from me changing the necks. It gave me a totally different sound. I'm going to have to cut off here in about 10 seconds, so leave your comments. Follow me as I follow you.